Greetings everyone, this is Mohammed Muazz Zuberi and I'll be presenting on the topic front-end development for my IWP DA, and I'll also be telling you about my project and my contribution in my project. So basically the topic that I've chosen is front-end development. It deals with the first three modules of our course that deals with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So what I've tried to cover is basically an introduction towards front-end web development, and that is what we are going to discuss in the later half of this presentation. So, talking about front-end development first, what is front-end development? Front-end web development is also known as client-side development. It is a practice of producing graphical user interfaces of websites and web applications so that the user can see and interact with them directly. Whatever websites we see these days, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or whatever website you go on, they basically have a basic layout that is put out for the basic user, and that is developed by front-end developers, and the development that is done is basically front-end development. So the next thing that comes up is what is the role of a front-end developer? Like this varies where this varies a lot based on the company that you are working for and the projects you are working on. But the basic role of a front-end developer is to make a basic user interface for the users. They need to design a page. They need to have that page implemented in their whole implementation with the help of languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. And then the second part that comes up is basically they have to follow good SEO, that is search engine optimization practices. That basically helps them in the ranking of the pages when it comes up on the search engines. And then they have to fix bugs and test the whatever platform they have made for usability for the users, and make sure that they are like optimal in whatever solution that they're trying to provide. So the next thing that comes up is working of front end. So basically, how does all this work in relation to like front end development is just a part of the overall web development. Web development includes a front end as well as back end. So how does it connect to the whole thing? So there is this small diagram basically that explains the whole thing. A site is loaded in a browser from a server. That the site has to be responsive in terms of the front end development that we'll discuss in the later half of the presentation. All this is built through HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and other frameworks that are present. So then a client-side script is run, which helps it to reach the server. Then basically the data is fetched from the database that is at the backend, and at the backend server-side scripts are run, and the server-side scripts are run. And after that, we are able to fetch the data back and then display the data back on the front end of the website. So this is just a basic introduction about the working of the front end and the connection with the back end and all. Moving on to the next part, which tools are used in front end development? As we discussed in our module 1, module 2, and module 3, the tools that are used generally in front end development are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and JavaScript is all that. So, what do these three tools differ? What are the works of these three tools? It can be explained by the simple example of having a human. So, basically, HTML is like a skeleton of any document. It's like a skeleton of a human body. Basically, it provides the whole thing a very structured format in which the person can basically design the whole web page. The CSS is like the skin. It just beautifies the document and it just presents the thing as it should look. So basically, CSS is used to define the look of the website. HTML is used to define the major functioning, the basic structure of the website, and JavaScript makes it dynamic. JavaScript is like the nervous system. It helps in making the whole website and the whole system dynamic. Moving ahead, what is a slight introduction about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? So, what is HTML? HTML is basically the full form as we know it is hypertext markup language. It is used to design web pages and web pages. So, the web browser receives HTML documents from web servers and renders the document into multimedia web pages. And this is how it creates a basic layout for any web page that is present. CSS again, as I said earlier, it's like the visual part of any website. For example, whatever you see on Facebook or whatever you see on websites like Instagram or any other website, Amazon or anything, most of it, the look of it is defined by the CSS, and the major chunk of the structure is given by the HTML side of it. CSS is not a programming language, and it is used for website layout designing and styling. Now comes like a part called responsive design. What is a responsive design? Responsive design is basically a thing that is used for better user experience, and it helps users have a better user experience in the whole thing. Basically, I'll take you through an example to explain this section. If we go to our VTOP website, this is how the VTOP websites look in the web page in the like normal laptop format. But if we inspect and if we have a look at how it would look on a phone, this is how it would look on a phone. There is no overflowing of any sort of content or anything of that sort. It just streamlines itself based on the size of the screen. And this is basically what responsive design means. So this is where responsive design comes in, and it is very important for modern day front-end developers to know how to make a flash responsive and all that. Now coming to the third part, what is JavaScript? JavaScript is basically a scripting language of the browser. It helps in building interactive user interfaces, and it basically runs on the client and the browser as well as on the server side. Now, moving towards the roadmap that is followed by modern day front-end developers, you need to work, first of all, before knowing anything, you should know how to work around with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And you need to know how to connect your front-end pages with the backend, and you need to know how to work with data. After that, you need to learn about hosting of various web services and all that. So for that, people use services like Azure, Netlify, and all these. Then you need to know some frameworks like React.js or Angular. These help in your front-end development journey. And then you can move on to Web3 and domains like blockchain and all as well. They are also really upcoming domains in the terms of front-end development. So this is basically the introduction towards front-end development. There are a lot of like benefits of learning front-end development as you get to learn a lot of things, that you get to have a lot more opportunities. It presents you with many opportunities as startups, as in many organizations, and basically it helps you build your career around it. And it's a very upcoming field in today's day and age. So this was the basic introduction about front-end development. Now we'll be moving on to the project that I am working on currently, and I will be talking more about that. So the project that I have been working on with my team is basically called, just a second. The project that we have been working on with our team is called Saksham. So Saksham basically in Hindi means being able to do anything. So basically it's a job portal for people who are physically disabled or they have some sort of like disability and stuff. I'll take you through the functioning of the whole website. So basically, this will be our login page. Any user that comes onto the website can basically log in, or if they don't have an account, they can just sign up. This is the basic design of the whole thing. So for now, we have worked on the design. We are also working on the implementation of it with the help of React.js, and we will be showing it in our next review. After logging in, this is where the user comes in. So this is the basic page that comes up, and basically the user can see various categories of jobs that are there. For example, there might be people who are visually impaired, so they might go for visually impaired jobs. There might be some people who are hard of hearing, they might be going for hard of hearing jobs and all that. And there might be some people who are disabled, so they might be going for disabled jobs. So there is proper categorization on the basis of the user needs and what the user wants. There's also a search section where the user can search for whatever job they want and whichever location do they want this job to be in. The next part that comes up is basically type of jobs that they want. So this can be based on the profession that the user wants to have. So basically, if they want to have a government job or if they want to have a marketing and communication job, they can go for that. Then there are some featured jobs. These are like really good jobs or recently listed jobs that we'll show on our portal. And after that, this is basically a basic footer for our basic web page. Then coming to the next page, that is when a person clicks on any job profile, this is what comes up. So basically, this gives them a description about whatever they want in the particular job that they have chosen. So, for example, in this job, they want to have a mid-level person. It is a full-time job and it's a remote job in India. It has the company also has around 10 to 1 to 10 employees. So basically, they let you know of the expected salary and everything around that. I'll also show you a prototype to explain the whole process more clearly. So this is basically that. Then after the search thing that is there, like after we search over here, this page generally pops up. This is the page with listing of all the different types of jobs. So yeah. So this is the page for listing of all the types of the jobs. There are various jobs, so users can just have a look at all of them and choose whatever one they find interesting. This is basically a small about us page where we explain what a Saksham is about and what we're planning to do with it. And this basically explains the small user flow of the whole part. If you are a recruiter and if you want to post an opening, you can directly go to the nav bar and click on post an opening option, and this page will come up. You can basically put in whatever requirements you have and whatever you might want in the person you want to be applying for the job, and you can just put it in and it will show up on our platform. For the user, as like any company comes, they also need to know about the person who's applied for the job. So they can edit their profile, they can add their photo, they can add their domains of interest, whatever they want, and on the basis of that they can search as well for the jobs. They can add their experience, their LinkedIn URL, their portfolio URL, they can add their skills. They can also add their resume link to this whole page, and then they can basically submit their profile for review. And the user profile would look something like this, so that whenever recruiters come, they can just clearly see what kind of person has applied for the job. Now moving on to the small prototype of our whole website. So yeah, so this is the basic prototype for our website. So basically I'll start from the beginning, that is I'll start from signing up. So we have made this whole prototype on Figma. So now that I have logged in, you can see that like this is how the page will look. Our tagline here with Saksham is I don't need easy, I just need possible. So that is what we have planned to do, and like just this is the implementation that we are planning to do. We have started working on the front end part as well, but this is the prototype as of now. So the person can search for the job, and this is what comes up. Then they can choose whatever job they want, and they can see whatever the people are asking for in that particular job. Then they can just apply, and yes, it shows that you have successfully applied for the job. After this, we can go back to the main page. We can see if a person wants to post, or if first of all we can see the about us section. So this is the about us section for our whole website, and this is how it would look like. For the jobs, you can see the various listing of the various jobs. There are also category wise filters over here. They can just select or apply whatever they want, and basically that is how it works. They can also post a job. So post a job, basically the person can post whatever they want. They can just see like in the drop down they have the various job categories, the various seniority levels and all. So they can just choose whatever they want, and basically they can put jobs for these people with some sort of disabilities. The person can also edit their profile, and this is how they can edit the profile and make changes or whatever. And this is how the profile would look at. So this was a small presentation about my project. For the project, as of now, we have all worked together in the ideation and the designing. I have majorly worked on the prototyping of this whole project and the basic designing. For the designing, we have also like tried to incorporate various aspects of research. For example, the color that we have chosen for this website is very specifically for people with some sort of like visual impairment or people who are partially blind. So the colors don't like the color that we have particularly used. These don't generally pinch those people who have partial blindness, or they're easily distinguishable for people who have partial blindness. That is why the colors are very like toned down, and that is why they're very calming of sorts in a certain way. The terminology that we have used in every way, shape, or form is basically in support of people with some sort of disability. They don't mean to they don't mean to just like insult those people in any way, shape, or form. And we have done proper research in terms of that. So this is basically the whole presentation, and I hope that whatever has been done is sufficient. And this is Mohammed Muazz Zuberi. This was my small presentation about for my IWPDA. That was about front-end web development and an introduction to front-end development, and then followed by a brief introduction about my project and what I have worked upon in my project so far. Thank you.